Hello and welcome. In this video, I'm going to discuss how to set goals in life and achieve them. 6 important ways. But if we haven't met already, I am Vayda. I am a motivational speaker, a business growth strategist, and a life coach. And this channel is dedicated to motivation and inspiration, helping you get to that next level in your life. So if you haven't subscribed, please do by hitting the subscription button below. And of course, don't forget to ring the bell so you don't miss out on any new content. So let's get into it. How to set goals in life and achieve them. 6 important ways. So how do you achieve success in all areas of your life? It starts by having goals. Not having goals is like, imagine walking into a coffee shop and then getting to the counter and looking up at the menu and then waiting for the coffee attendant to order for you, decide for you what you're going to drink right now. That is pretty much what life is if we don't have goals, right? Now, the first step is knowing what goals are. Because a lot of people might not know what goals are because, well, they've never had them. So what are goals? Goals are written down things about what you want. What do you want in life, right? If you don't know what you want in life, life cannot give it to you, right? So what do you want in life? So how to set goals in life and achieve them? Step number 1. Have goals as opposed to not have goals, right? So make sure you have goals. Step number 2, write your goals down. Now this is a crucial and very important thing. In the beginning when I used to hear about all this about writing your goals down and things, I was like, you know what, I don't need to do that. Okay, I have goals now. I know kind of what they are. They're there somewhere. I remember them. I don't need to write every single little goal down. And I didn't. And I wasn't really achieving any of my goals. And to the point where I thought, well, maybe this advice about writing it down might not be such a bad one. So, write your goals down. Write your goals down. And you must have goals for different parts of your life. So, career goals, money goals, life goals, family goals. Divide them into different sections and have your goals written down. Each of these goals, you need to categorize them in terms of the time frame you want to achieve these goals in. You will start with, for instance, your long-term goals. Now, by long-term goals, I mean goals that you have planned for the next 5 to 10 years. Seems like a very long way away, and I mean, who really knows in 5 or 10 years what they want? But that's besides the point. The point is, you need to have a clear picture even up to 5 to 10 years, so you have something to aim for, right? So 5 to 10 years are your long-term goals. Then you need to write down your medium-term goals, and these are anywhere between 3 to 5 years. So within 3 to 5 years, what do you want to achieve? In each of those categories, write it down. Then you need to have your short-term goals. So within the next 12 months, what do I want? What am I planning on achieving within the next 12 months? Write all of them down. And I would suggest you spend a fair amount of time doing this. Sit down, take time, in some peace and quiet, not in a place where the dog's barking, the TV's on, the kettle's on, your children are just, mommy, 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 we all have that. Sit in a place of peace and solitude, right? Write this goal, because this is one of the most important things you will ever do for your future, right? Sit down and write those goals down. And take your time and write these goals down in as much detail as you need to. And how are you going to write these goals? Well, instead of saying, I want a new car, which is great, you need to be more specific. So, for instance, I want a new Mercedes-Benz by the 30th of March 2019. Right? Now you know what kind of car you want. And you know when you want it by. Right? I want $1 million or I want to be rich. That's not a specific enough goal. I want $1 million by the 31st of December 2019. Now you have a specific amount you're aiming for and exactly when you're going to get by. That's an example of how to write your goals down. I want this, I want that. Now that works. But what I suggest is more effective. Saying, for instance, I have a new Mercedes-Benz by the 31st of March 2019. I have $1 million in my possession by the 31st of December 2019. I have. You see the difference there? I want a new car. I want a new Mercedes-Benz. I have a new Mercedes-Benz. See the difference? The difference is this, that when you start writing your goals down like you've already achieved them, there's a lot more emotion that starts getting attached to it, right? So when you're talking about your goals and you say, oh, I have a car. I have a car? I have a Mercedes-Benz? I have a Mercedes-Benz. Ah! Right? I want a Mercedes-Benz. I want a Mercedes-Benz. I want a Mercedes-Benz. I want a Mercedes-Benz. I want. Do you understand the difference? So this is extremely crucial. You've got to write your goals down in that way, just that way I've explained to you, right? But in a way, assuming you have already achieved this goal. I want to lose 5 kilos. I want to lose 5 kilos. I have lost 5 kilos. I have lost 5 kilos. I have lost 5 kilos. Oh, right? The feeling is different. The emotion different. The excitement is different. And guess what? Very soon you will lose those 5 kilos if you believe that you've already lost those 5 kilos. This is the way your mind works, and this is what you need to trick your subconscious mind in thinking it has already achieved the things that you want. It already has given you these things. Because then what does it do? It goes out of its way to make sure it does give it to you. And then once you've written these goals down, please don't stick them at the back of the cupboard or in the laundry and the dogs just had it for breakfast or whatever the case might be. You need to do is step number 3. So how to set goals in life and achieve them. 6 important ways. Step number 3, you need to read your goals. So take those goals, and this is what I suggest. Every morning and every night, read your goals out loud. Now, of course, it goes without saying, do it in a place of solitude, a place of quiet, where it's just between you and the goals that you're reading. It doesn't have to be displayed for the world, or for the dog, or the cat, or the rat, or, your neighbor's wife, whatever the case might be. It is just for you. So make the time to give yourself that space and read your goals out loud. Step number 4. This is the best part. Visualize, right? As you're reading these goals, don't just recite them. Right? But add emotion and attach emotion to these goals. So as you're reading them, right? I have $1 million in my bank account by the 31st of December 2019. I have it. Close your eyes when you say that one sentence. Each goal, read it, close your eyes, repeat it out loud. And in your eyes, in the back of your mind, I want you to see that $1 million there. I want you to see holding all of that $1 million. Hugging it and squeezing it and loving it because it's yours, only yours. Visualize it. And then visualize that happiness and that excitement that you feel. How would you feel if someone had to give you $1 million right now to hug and hold and say it's yours? Well, that's how you should be feeling when you're visualizing these goals. And I go into a lot more detail in one of my other videos called Positive Thoughts for Life. 29 affirmations for an amazing you. So don't miss out on that as well. Step 5, adding emotion. So it's just a little run-off of the visualization section I just mentioned. Attaching emotion, as much emotion as you can to your goals when you're talking about them. So in the beginning, when you've written all these goals down and you're reading them, and I would suggest start with your you're not going to start reading, you're not going to memorize everything instantly. So start reading them, right? And then when you actually remember them all, it's not going to be that hard from knowing what you want. At first, I suggest reading your goals. But once you memorize them, I need you to close your eyes and do these exercises. Extremely important, right? So visualize them. Then you need to start adding emotion to your visualization, as I've just mentioned. And I mean, you're not a robot. So don't do anything like a robot would. For instance, I have $1 million by 31st March 2019. I am the owner of a brand new Mercedes-Benz. I have lost 5 kilos. Yeah. And then you wonder why nothing's happening, right? When none of these goals are actually working. Well, because you put no emotional attachment to these goals. You're just reciting them like a robot would, maybe a little bit better than a robot would, but hey, you're still reciting them, right? So, as I mentioned before, and I keep stressing this point because it's extremely crucial. In this whole goal setting process, this is an extremely crucial part. I have $1 million by the 31st of March 2023 or 2019 or 2018 or whatever your goal is. Write it down and feel it. Feel it. Live it in that moment. See the difference? Each goal has to be like this. And no, you are not going to look like an idiot, or people are going to go, oh, what's wrong with her? Because this is something you're doing with yourself alone. This is personal. You do not need to advertise it to the world. This is something you would do in your own personal space. If you want to achieve the goals in life, there's certain things you need to do. I'll tell you a story. There was a time in my life when, things were great. Of course, because in all our lives, things go great. Then there was a time in life when money was a bit tight. And I was in the kitchen one day, and my second son came to me and said to me, "Mommy, can we buy a toy tomorrow?" And I said, sure. I was sort of keeping the cash for basic necessities. Like, we all get to a stage in our life where basic necessities are the most important things. And we're sort of postponed buying toys for a while. Why aren't we buying any new toys? I promise you, I'll buy a toy, Mom, but it won't be that expensive. I'll buy a small one, so it won't be that expensive. And so, can you promise me we'll buy it tomorrow, Mommy? And I said to him, yes, I promise you we'll buy it tomorrow. And when he left, as you can imagine, I was a little bit in tears. That my 5-year-old, actually he wasn't 5 at the time, my 3-year-old son had to even think about the costing of something. And that I could not even offer him that at that stage in our life. And at that point, I made a decision that I was done. I was done with any mediocrity. I was done with just this averageness of life sometimes. And I was done with, whining and blaming and just never taking responsibility that maybe this is all in my hands. And I made the decision. And I promised myself, none of my children would ever have to do that again. And that was the day I turned the most important page in my book, the Book of Mona. And I tell you what, it was the best life-changing decision I have ever made. Because for the first time in my life, I was done. And I haven't looked back since. My children have never had to come and say that to me ever again. So you need to find whatever that is important for you, whatever that trigger point is. For me, it was my kids. Find what that trigger point is for you and just push forward with all your might. And if not for yourself, then for whoever you're doing it for, just push forward. Don't give up. Keep going, keep going. Set these goals, because these goals will change your life. And at the point when I said I'm done with mediocrity, I took a pen and a paper, and I'm kidding you not. I sat down and I wrote where I was going to be that next time that year. Last step. Take action. So, in summary, how to set goals in life and achieve them. 6 important ways. Step number 1, have goals. Know what they are, know what you want, have goals. Secondly, write them down. Third step, read your goals out loud at least twice a day. Step number 4, visualize your goals. Step number 5, use emotion while you're visualizing these goals. Step number 6, last but not least, take action. Thank you for watching. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Also, if you think there's someone that could benefit from this, then please do share. I hope you would. And of course, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscription button below. And don't forget to ring the bell so you don't miss out on any new videos. Also, let me know what sort of topics you'd like to see videos on in terms of motivation and inspiration. Put it in the comments section below. Thank you for watching. And remember, you can live an incredible life. Why? Because you deserve it. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourself. This is Mona Vayda.